Hello, boys and girls. It's Fiesta Gardens Library time again. Welcome. As I promised last week, we are continuing with holiday stories. This one is about Hanukkah. Let's begin. Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins by Kimmel. This book is a little bit longer than YouTube allows, so I'm going to split it into two. This will be part 1. Please look for part 2 on the same YouTube channel. Hershel and the Hanukkah Goblins by Kimmel. Beautiful title page. It was the first night of Hanukkah. Hershel of Ostropol was walking down the road. He was tired and hungry. Nonetheless, his step was light. Soon he would reach the next village where the bright candles, merry songs, and platters piled high with tasty potato latkes awaited him. But when he arrived, the village was silent and dark. Not a single Hanukkah candle could be seen. "Isn't tonight the first night of Hanukkah?" Hershel asked the villagers. "We don't have Hanukkah, Hershel," one of them answered sadly. "No Hanukkah? How can that be?" "It's because of the goblins. They haunt the old synagogue at the top of the hill. They hate Hanukkah. Whenever we try to light a menorah, the goblins blow out the candles. They break our dreidels. They throw our potato latkes on the floor. Those wicked goblins make our lives miserable all year long. But on Hanukkah, it's really bad." Hershel knew he must help the village people. "I'm not afraid of goblins," he said. "Tell me how to get rid of them." "It's not as easy as you think," the rabbi warned. "You must spend 8 nights in the old synagogue. The Hanukkah candles must be lit each night. On the 8th night, the king of the goblins must light them himself. That is the only way to break their power." "I'm not afraid, Rabbi," Hershel said. "If I can't outwit a few goblins, then my name isn't Hershel of Ostropol." The villagers wished Hershel good luck. They had no potato latkes to give him, so they packed several hard-boiled eggs for him to eat, along with a jar of pickles. The rabbi gave Hershel a brass menorah, a package of candles, and a box of matches. Then the villagers said goodbye. Nobody expected to ever see Hershel again. It was long past sundown by the time Hershel climbed up to the top of the hill where the old synagogue was stood. The crumbling building was gloomy and dark, and rusty things squealed as Hershel opened the door. Hershel shuddered. Well, could he believe that goblins lived here? He put 2 candles in the menorah and set it on the windowsill. He struck a match and lit the shamas candle. He said the blessings and was about to light the other candle when he heard a voice. "Hey, what are you doing?" Hershel turned around. Here was a goblin no bigger than a horsefly with a long pointy tail and 2 little bat wings hovering in the air. "I'm lighting Hanukkah candles," Hershel said. "Tonight is the first night of Hanukkah." There's the horsefly. "Oh, no, it's not. We don't allow Hanukkah. No, not around here." "Is that so?" said Hershel. "Who's going to stop me? A little pipsqueak like you?" "I may be little, but I am strong," said the goblin. "Really? Can you crush rocks in your hand?" asked Hershel. The goblin laughed. "Crush rocks? You're joking. Nobody's that strong." "I am. Watch." Hershel took out a hard-boiled egg from his pocket and squeezed it until the yolk and the white ran through his fingers. "That's how hard I'm going to squeeze you if you try to stop me from lighting these candles." Since, in the dim light, the egg looked exactly like a rock, the little goblin shook with fear. "You leave me alone!" he squeaked. "Gladly," said Hershel, "if you let me light my candles in peace." "All right," said the goblin. "One night won't make a difference, but you better not be here tomorrow. Big scary goblins are coming, much bigger than me. If they catch you lighting Hanukkah candles, you'll be sorry." "We'll see about that," Hershel said to himself. He lit the first candle. On the second night of Hanukkah, another goblin appeared. This one was big, fat, and waddled like a goose. Hershel was finishing his dinner of pickles and hard-boiled eggs. "Have some pickles," he said to the goblin. "Pickles? Here, catch." Hershel tossed him a sour pickle. The goblin caught it in his mouth and swallowed it. Pickles are good. Do you like them? I have plenty in this jar. Take all you want." The greedy goblin grabbed as many pickles as his claws could hold, but when he tried to pull the fist out of the jar, he couldn't. "I'm stuck," the goblin shouted. "You put a spell in this jar to hold me fast." "That's right," Hershel said, laughing, "and it's a very powerful spell. You came here tonight to stop me from lighting Hanukkah candles. So now I'm going to light them while you stand with your hand in that jar and watch. How do you like that?" "No, no," the goblin screamed. "I hate Hanukkah." "Too bad, you'll have to get used to it," Hershel said. He then recited the blessing and lit the candles. Then he sang all his favorite Hanukkah songs. The goblin wailed and carried on so much that Hershel finally decided to let him go. "Shall I tell you how to break the spell?" Yes, I can't stand it anymore." "Let go of the pickles. Your greed is the only spell holding you prisoner." The goblin let go of the pickles in the jar. His hand slipped out of the jar easily. How that goblin raged. He had stood with his hands in a pickle jar while Hershel lit Hanukkah candles under his nose. The furious goblin stamped his foot so hard that he shattered into 1,000,000 pieces. The wind blew him away. The third night came. Hershel felt something watching him as he set the candles in the menorah. Instead of lighting them, he began playing with the dreidel. An hour passed. Hershel looked up. Sitting across the table was another goblin. This one had a fiery red face and 2 enormous horns. "It's getting late," the goblin said. "When are you going to light the candles?" "Later, there's plenty of time." Hershel spun his dreidel. "This is more fun." "What are you playing with?" the goblin asked. "It looks like a spin top." "It's a dreidel. Don't you know about dreidels?" "No." "Too bad. Dreidels are lots of fun. You can also make lots of money if you know how to play." "Really?" The goblin was interested now. All goblins like money. This one was no exception. "How do you play?" "It's very simple," Hershel said, "but you must have gold. That's the first rule." "I have plenty. Is this enough?" The goblin poured a pile of gold coins onto the table. "That's fine," Hershel said. "Listen carefully now. This letter is Shin. If it comes up, you give me a handful of gold. This letter is Hey. If it comes up, you give me half your gold. This is Kimmel. If the dreidel falls on this letter, you give me all of your gold. Understand? Wait, there's one letter left. What about this one? That's Noon. If the dreidel falls on Noon, I don't give you anything. Ready? Let's play. You go first." So whatever it lands on, Hershel's going to win. The goblin spun the dreidel. The little top whirled around and around. When it fell, the letter on top was Shin. "Too bad," Hershel said, taking a big handful of the goblin's gold. "Try again. Maybe you'll have better luck." The goblin spun the dreidel once more. This time it fell on Hay. "This isn't your night," Hershel said, helping himself to half of the goblin's gold. "One more time. Your luck is bound to improve." Once again, the goblin spun. This time the dreidel landed on Kimmel. "Too bad," Hershel sighed as he took the rest of the goblin's gold. "Would you like me to spin?" "Yes," the goblin grumbled. He was very unhappy about losing his money. Hershel spun the dreidel. This time the letter Noon was on top. "Oh my, I don't give you anything. I get to keep all the gold. Say, that was fun. Get some more gold and we'll play again." "What about the Hanukkah candles?" "We'll light them later. There's plenty of time." "Not for me," the goblin said. "I'm leaving now. I don't like this game. I don't like Hanukkah, and I don't like you." "Don't go," Hershel pleaded. "I know lots of games. Stay a while. We'll have fun." "Goodbye." The goblin spread his wings, swooped out of the door, and flew off into the night. Hershel lit the candles all by himself.